Hey guys, GCSE STEM here. In today's video, we are going to be covering the topic of cells and subcellular structures. And by the end of this video, you should be able to understand what a cell is, and you should be able to identify and explain the different subcellular structures in a cell. Over here, we can see a cell, and we can see the subcellular structures in a cell. What subcellular means is the things that a cell is made up of, or its components. Over here, we can see that the cell is made up of the cytoplasm, the ribosomes, the cell membrane, and the genetic material, which is usually DNA. So if we move on to the definition of these subcellular structures, a cell membrane is the subcellular structure that holds the cell together, separating the inside of the cell from the external environment of the cell, controlling the different things and particles that can enter and leave the cell. The cytoplasm is a jelly-like substance where chemical reactions take place inside the cell. The cytoplasm also surrounds the other subcellular structures within it. Now, DNA is the genetic material that controls the activities of the cell. And DNA is short for deoxyribonucleic acid. But you don't need to memorize this for your exams. And now ribosomes produce protein, and the process is called protein synthesis. Now there are two different types of cells. There are eukaryotic cells and there are prokaryotic, and we're going to explore these differences right now. A eukaryotic cell are cells which animals and plants are made up of. The structures of these type of cells include ribosomes, cell membrane, and cytoplasm. The defining feature of a eukaryotic cell is that their genetic material is enclosed within the nucleus. And eukaryotic cells vary in size and are usually between 10 and 100 micrometers. Over here we can see a typical animal cell and a typical plant cell. Animal cells and plant cells contain their DNA within the nucleus, as we can see over here. The cell membrane is the border which controls what can leave and enter the cell. The cytoplasm is this jelly-like substance here, which is surrounding all the other subcellular structures, except the cell membrane. And the ribosomes are these small little balls which look like chains. And we can see the mitochondria, which generates chemical energy needed for the cell's biochemical reaction, or in other words, it gives the cells energy. And in a plant cell, we can see it contains chloroplasts, and chloroplasts are necessary for the plant to conduct photosynthesis, in which it converts light and glucose into energy. We can also see that it contains the nucleus, which is where its DNA is contained. We can see it contains mitochondria, where the plant also generates energy. We can see its cytoplasm, where chemical reactions take place. We can see a permanent vacuole. A permanent vacuole is a subcellular organ which makes sure the cell stays turgid. Turgid means the cell does not become flaccid, which is basically where the cell becomes really small and the cell does not inflate. It makes sure the cell keeps its right size. We can also see ribosomes, cell wall, which is on the outside of the cell membrane. If we move on to prokaryotic cells. Bacterial cells are a type of prokaryotic cell. A prominent feature of prokaryotic cells is that their genetic material is not enclosed within a nucleus. It's found as a single loop of DNA within the cytoplasm. Additional, smaller circular pieces of DNA called plasmids may also be present. The cell membrane of all prokaryotic cells are surrounded by a cell wall, usually made from a substance called peptidoglycan, though you won't need to memorize this word for your exams. And prokaryotic cells are much smaller in comparison to eukaryotic cells, with many measuring around 1 micrometer in size. And over here we can see what a prokaryotic cell looks like. we can see its cell membrane and its circular loop of DNA within the cytoplasm. This tells us that a prokaryotic cell does not have a nucleus. Its DNA flows freely in the cytoplasm. We can also see its plasmids, its ribosomes, and the cell wall in the cytoplasm. Well, hopefully guys, you guys now understand what a cell is and the subcellular structures in the cell and be able to identify them along with their definitions. If you guys enjoyed this video, please like, comment and subscribe, share this with any of your friends and those who might find this helpful, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.